On today's episode of Trying to be a Mechanic with the TheMadSnap'r, we got a Volkswagen kicking my ass, y'all.
Alright, 2014 Volkswagen Beetle 1.8 liter. Over here, the motor code is going to be the CPR, not the CPK or the CRP, C whatever. That's where you see the motor code, figure out what type of emissions you have on the motor in case you have multiple options of the same displacement. That's where you figure it out. Young lady hit something, dented the radiator. Pretty straightforward. It almost calls for like 3 hours of book time to do it. Pulled off a couple of trim pieces right here. Then we pulled the fans out, which was easier than I expected. We did that. We had 4 screws where it was screwed to the radiator. 2 on this side, 2 on that side. 1 plug-in on the bottom, which I will jack this up right now and show you. Focus. Anyway, T25. Plug in right there. Bolt hole, bolt hole, bolt hole, screw holes really, not bolt holes. They were located there. The 2 you can get from up top, located there on the bottom. So now this is the intake tube for the turbo. Moving that out the way. We've got the coolant lines done, but this AC line is fighting me. It is in the way of dropping this radiator down. So here's the damage. Does she run into the thing? So that's what we got to figure out. The easiest way to get the radiator when everything tells you to drop it from the bottom. Also, the coolant line was there on that side, and we got it out. This kept hitting the AC lines, which was such a pain in the butt. So I took the turbocharge pipe off, moved this as far as I could, pulled down on this end, and grabbed the AC line itself with my other hand to wrap it around, and it finally dropped down. So that's the AC line I pulled out. And this is the turbocharged pipe that I had to move to the side that goes there. But finally got it. It's not going to be fun putting the other one back in, but we will see. Let's clean up something. Alright, putting the radiator back in. There's the tube. So here's my only hiccup is this AC line. You kind of got to pull it out of the way to get this piece back in as the coolant drips down my arm. Anyway, that is the only hard part. Get everything else out of the way and you can get it in there. Let's get it done. So I was showing you that because that is the only spot, the hard spot right there, is getting it out as well. Other than that, it's super simple. Not nearly as bad as they make it claim to be. So now we're gonna put the 4 bolts in, or screws, Torx bits that actually hold the thing together, which are gonna be those guys. I'll probably wind up fighting those hoses more than anything else. But yeah, if this would have been moved over just a hair, it would have been easy peasy. So sorry I didn't show you that, taking it out, but that's what you're gonna fight, taking it out. At least on this one. Here we go. All right, back on the Bug. You've got these oversized, we call them Jesus clips. It's just similar to the clips that's on the Chevrolet transmissions. You got a bend on either end, they're opposite, but it doesn't matter which way it goes because the little nub there will allow you to put it that way or that way. So, if these are designed correctly, you put these in like that, push it all the way down, and then you should be able to slide it on and hear it click into place. Let's give it a try. Need both hands. Be right back. I was wrong. Can't put it all the way in, slide it in place. Put it in, pick it up like that, then slide it on. wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then put it in place. Just like that. Boom. One more to do on the bottom. All right, I got that clipped in on the bottom. It's in there pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put these out of the way so it doesn't get caught by the belts. I am gonna tighten this intake tube back up. Then I'm gonna fill it up, crank it up, check for leaks before I put the fans back in, because I don't want to have to take those back out in case something's wrong. Even though I know nothing's going to be wrong, it's still my process, the way I do it. So let me grab a screwdriver, fill her up, and test it out. Here we go. All right, radiator is in, hoses are on, it's been topped off, fired up and ran. So now let's put the fan in. That's tight, that's tight. The fan has 4 of those Torx 25s or 27s. Goes in from the bottom pretty much the same way. Then you plug in the connector, you route a couple of little wires, and then call it done. So let's do that real quick. Here we go. All right, the top bolt for the fan is there, and the other one is there. Not too hard. It is clipped in. This little air intake piece, I'm over here cleaning it just because it's the way I am, what I do. So a little soap and water, clean those up before I put them back on. Then we'll burp the system one more time, put the belly pan back on, which are Torx 25s. The radiator and the fans are T27s, and we'll be done. Here we go. All right, this is the little intake piece that was bolted up here by the radiator. The main piece has 2 bolts that hold it in place. They're also T25s, and they go right there and right there, and put it back together like a puzzle. I noticed this. I'm gonna clean that up too, because that's what I do. Can't leave that. All right. So fresh and so clean. Anytime you see little stuff like that, just go ahead and do it. It might take 2-3 minutes, a couple of extra tools. I broke out the jump box for battery saver. That way my customer doesn't have to reset the battery or reset the radio stations or anything like that. Now, they won't be calling because of a bad connection when the battery stops taking a charge, thinking it's an alternator or something. So, good to go. Big dirty thumbs up. All right, let's do that belly pan. I don't know if anybody paid attention to how dirty this was when it first came in, but literally 2 more minutes, little red. Customer may never see this, but I know it. A lot cleaner. All right, now we're finally gonna get to the belly pan. Here we go. All right, technically this job is done. Belly pan is back on. It was missing about 6 of the Torx bolts. I found what I had stashed away for the customer, no charge, just to get it on there like it's supposed to be. Like this one was missing. There's still 1 more missing here, but it's got the other 50 that it needs. And that's just typical oil change people, probably not putting stuff back, but it's back now, it's on. So let's go for a test drive. All right, everything is great in the test drive. No issues, no leaks. And we scanned it just to make sure everything 100% passes.